Welcome to East Texas Explorer. I'm Khaki.
And I'm Milana. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're bringing you stories about the Nacogdoches Pro Rodeo, the Lamplight Theater, and an organization helping folks right here in our area.
We're also going to be taking a look at this year's Nacogdoches Kite Festival and a new SFA program that's got some students going green.
It should be a great show, so don't go anywhere.
East Texas Explorer begins now. Hundreds of cowboys and cowgirls descended on the city of Nacogdoches recently. Why, you may ask? They brought the Western way of life to our fair city for one weekend and provided sellout crowds with tons of exciting action. For East Texas Explorer, I'm Khaki Holland, reporting at the Nacogdoches Professional Rodeo and Steer Show. The Nacogdoches Pro Rodeo benefits the Nacogdoches JCs, an organization that strives to equip young adults with the tools they need to succeed in life. The Nacogdoches Pro Rodeo has become a long-standing tradition in East Texas and has been entertaining and thrilling crowds, young and old alike, for 35 years. Here to tell us more about the rodeo and steer show is professional rodeo announcer Andy Stewart.
Well, it's more than just pro rodeo. This is the Nacogdoches Steer Show and Rodeo, so a lot of young people get a chance to come here and showcase their animals that they work hard all year to prepare to be here and hopefully earn some scholarship money. And in addition to that, we have one of the top pro rodeos in the entire state of Texas. We bring top-notch cowboys from all across the United States and right here in Texas as well.
The Nacogdoches Pro Rodeo is sanctioned by the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, founded in 1936, and featured all 7 of the standard rodeo events, including bareback riding, saddle bronc riding, tie-down calf roping, team roping, steer wrestling, and the 2 crowd favorites, barrel racing and bull riding. The PRCA's championship event, the National Finals Rodeo, is held each December in Las Vegas, Nevada. Many of the cowboys and cowgirls that can be seen on television competing during the National Finals in Las Vegas were also on hand right here at the Nacogdoches Pro Rodeo.
For East Texas Explorer, I'm Khaki Holland.
You weren't the only one at the rodeo last weekend. Consuelo Bonilla was there to check out an event that's captured the attention of many, especially children. When it comes to bull or horse riding, all kids can do is watch, but mutton busting is a way for them to be part of the action. Consuelo went to the Nacogdoches Pro Rodeo and Steer Show to find out what mutton busting is all about.
When the word rodeo is heard, the first thing that pops into mind are cowboys riding horses and wrestling cattle. At the Nacogdoches Pro Rodeo and Steer Show, there is an event that has not only become very popular in Nacogdoches, but also in the East Texas area. It's called mutton busting. Mutton busting, also known as wool riding, is a chance for kids 3 to 7 years old to be able to compete in the rodeo just like any cowboy or cowgirl. It consists of holding on to the back of a sheep as long as possible. The longer the child holds on, the higher their score will be. Basically, children get the chance to reenact a miniature and safer version of bull riding. This event is watched and enjoyed by people of all ages, since it was first introduced in the 1980s. Many consider mutton busting to be a way to introduce their kids to the adult rodeo riding events, which include bulls and horses. The event is very fast-paced, so the crowd has to pay close attention to the riders. Many of the riders fall as soon as the sheep starts to move. The Nacogdoches Rodeo lasted for 3 nights, so every 10 kids will have the chance to show off their sheep holding skills. So next year's rodeo will be expecting some new money busters to take on the challenge. Even though the falls might look hard, for the kids it's all fun. For East Texas Explorer, I'm Consuelo Bonilla.
Downtown Nacogdoches has many shops, but there is one where you can shop for a cause. Jakar Anderson went downtown to find out more about CASA and the Blue Ribbon.
Downtown Nacogdoches is filled with many shopping and antique stores, but what you might have missed is the CASA office and the Blue Ribbon shop. CASA was established in Nacogdoches in 2006.
CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates. They train and supervise volunteers to speak in court for child victims of abuse and neglect in order to prepare them for a hopeful future in a safe, permanent home. CASA of Deep East Texas was founded by Claudia Whitley, a professor at SFA. She was inspired to establish CASA in Nacogdoches after meeting a CASA volunteer at a children's art event. Rebecca Carlton, the executive director of CASA, talked about how CASA and the Blue Ribbon made their way downtown.
We can advertise, do this sort of thing, but still we need to raise awareness, so we felt like that if we gave people opportunities to donate or consign items or just come in and shop, that they would learn about our store and learn about the mission for the store.
The Blue Ribbon began when they started collecting items from garage sales and donated items from the community. The Blue Ribbon shop gives people the chance to shop for a good cause by finding out more about CASA. The Blue Ribbon is another way for CASA to raise money. It has all kinds of assortments, from antique items, jewelry, fine china, books, art, and more. If you would like to volunteer or donate items, you can come to their shop downtown or visit their website at www.casaofdet.com.
This antique store is unlike any other. It's personalized and filled with the most unique of antiques. Rachel's Antiques and Uniques is the place to find the neatest repurposed antiques. I went out this week to take a deeper look inside.
Rachel's Antiques and Uniques isn't your average antique store. In fact, it's just like its title, unique. Rachel began repurposing antiques only a few years ago. She started off with a booth in an antique mall and now has her very own store. With a background in interior design and housing, Rachel uses the elements and principles of design to set up her store.
I find the items that I sell at all types of different places. Okay. And then I create some of the things, but yes.
Every table and corner has its own unique style and setup to it. She turns old items into something completely new, including old music sheets into new decor, as well as old utensils. Although Rachel carries some retail, most of the items she has found and repurposed. She loves to put together silver and glass with vintage pieces. She turns the simplest things into the prettiest decor.
My own look. A lot of people, there's lots of neutrals in here. If you know, there's a lot of neutrals and off-whites. And I like to call my style vintage elegant because I'm not necessarily shabby chic. Shabby chic might be a little bit more rough, but it's just kind of...
Although Rachel is the only owner of her store, she doesn't plan to stop repurposing anytime soon. I'm Alana Davis for East Texas Explorer.
We'll be back after the break with a story about the Lamplight Theater.
We'll also be taking an in-depth look at the Nacogdoches Kite Festival.
Don't go anywhere. East Texas Explorer will be right back.
Welcome back to East Texas Explorer.
The city of Nacogdoches sold an old barn to a person. That person and her group of actors turned that old barn into a theater to entertain the people of Nacogdoches. It's a community-owned theater called Lamplight. Here's Tristan with the story.
When stepping inside, there's a sense of family and friendship between the audience and actors. Inside the theater, there's a timeline of pictures showcased to the guests. People from different cities come by to see a play by lamplight. Even the mayor of Nacogdoches comes by to watch a play or two.
Thanks for what all you do for us.
The Lamplight Theater used to be an old barn. Nacogdoches sold the place along with the land to Sarah.
And we bought it for $1 because the city wanted us to have this building because we had a theater. So we took it apart, and it took us about a year, and we put it back up, made it a lot bigger.
Sarah founded Lamplight around the 1960s. Lamplight has been active for over 40 years and has done well over 300 plays. Sarah brings the community together with a live performance. In Nacogdoches, everybody knows Sarah. What makes Lamplight so distinguished is that the actors and actresses do not get paid to perform. They do it for the love of acting.
Everybody here works for nothing, for the love of it. And the city's been very generous with us, and they have leased us this land.
Sarah is a full-time thespian, and she is currently directing plays. Sarah welcomes the people and students of SFA and NAC High to visit and enjoy a live show. They've recently performed the play Love, Sex, and the IRS. Reporting for East Texas Explorer, I'm Tristan Hardy.
Nothing is better than a bright, sunny day with food, family, and kites. That's right, kites. The Helping House of Nacogdoches hosted the 4th annual Kite Festival. Here's Alexis Morgan with the story.
On Saturday, March 29th, the Helping House hosted the 4th annual Family Kite Festival. The event covered over 10 acres of land at the A.L. Magnum Junior Regional Airport. The festival began at 10 a.m., but volunteers had been working hard since 8 a.m. that morning to put on a fun-filled day for children and families. The entire Nacogdoches community was encouraged to take part in the festival. But this wasn't just your ordinary kite festival. The Helping House of Nacogdoches is a United Way organization that plans fundraising events like the Kite Festival, which are specifically designed for children and families that are a part of their program.
The Helping House is a resource for parents, and it's also a school for kids with autism or anybody on the autism spectrum. We put this event on for the kids. We know that they have a lot of energy and love to have fun.
And the Helping House did not disappoint. Children and families had the opportunity to take part in numerous activities, from bounce houses to rock climbing, riding in a train, and even having the opportunity to get in a hot air balloon basket and pull on the fire themselves.
We also do it to raise money and awareness for autism because it is a huge deal nowadays in America. So we like to get the community hyped up and know that we, the Helping House, are here to help.
And who could forget about the kites? There was a huge designated area for children and families to enjoy the kites and even fly some themselves, proving that age is just a number when it comes to kite flying. This is Alexis Morgan for East Texas Explorer.
Brendan Oglesby also is at the festival. Here's what he saw.
The Helping House held the Kite Fest on Saturday, March 29th at the A.L. Magnum Junior Regional Airport in Nacogdoches. There were many different airplanes on display, and one plane even took flight. Guests were also allowed to see what the inside of an airplane looked like. The public flying area was available to people to allow them to fly their kites. It was a beautiful day and a great day to fly a kite. Age did not matter, as there were kite flyers of all ages, young and old. There were many different shapes and sizes of kites that could be seen from miles away. Not only were there kites, but there were also activities for kids to take part in. One of these activities was a giant inflatable caterpillar that the kids could run under. If the wind blew right, the caterpillar would take flight and fly just like a kite. There was also a train ride and parachute races. There was also a rock climbing wall. One of the main attractions was a giant inflatable slide. There were also games that you would find at the fair, including this one, a mouth that ate hacky sacks. There was also food and drinks, including jumbo corn dogs. The weather was perfect, as you can see by this butterfly kite flying underneath the brilliant blue sky. With East Texas Explorer, I'm Brendan Oglesby.
There's a new trend in town and it's going green. SFA is making a change to the schools to-go boxes. Here's Bianca Berlanga with more.
SFA makes changes throughout the years, but there's a particular one that's eco-friendly called the Eco-to-Go box. A lot of students go to the cafeteria on campus to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but some don't have time to sit down and eat, so they get a to-go box. But instead of throwing the box away, with the Eco-to-Go box, they return it to the cafeteria to reuse it. I interviewed Alexandra Arboleta to get her thoughts on the Eco-to-Go boxes.
I haven't used them mainly because I'm in a hurry, so I just reach for what they give me. Plus, they don't even offer, so maybe if they offered, I think more people would use them.
Not all students think the Eco-to-Go boxes are a bad idea. This is what Pablo Tellez had to say.
I use them also because they're eco-friendly and it saves you some money, so double positives.
Not everyone likes change, but people will come through, especially since it's for a good cause. A negative for the Eco-to-Go box is if you lose your box, you won't be able to take food unless you buy a new one for $5. But a positive is if you use the box every week, your name goes into a drawing for $50 every week. Students can sign up on MySFA to use the Eco-to-Go box. The cashier at the cafeteria will give them a green dot to put on their IDs, and when they ask for a box, they have to return their used box to get a new one. For East Texas Explorer, I'm Bianca Berlanga.
In our final segment, spring is in the air as we take a look at some of the things going on in NAC as the weather gets warmer.
Summer is right around the corner, and that means fun and games in the oldest town in Texas. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to East Texas Explorer. What exactly does spring entail? Here's Brandon Smith with more.
When is spring? Most would say March, or to be more specific, March 20th, but it's more than just a specific date. It may occur during the months of March, April, and May. On the first day of spring, the sun shines equally on the northern and southern hemisphere of the earth. Spring entails that the sun rises in the early hours of the morning and sets later on in the afternoon. Also, during the spring, the winds can pick up and the birds start chirping more. Flowers start to bloom, the trees start to grow, leaves start to turn green. Everything blossoms during the spring. Precipitation can occur and leave puddles behind, which can cause flooding in some areas, mostly in mountainous areas. One of the key indicators of spring is tree pollen on your car or anywhere else. It can easily be spread throughout the season. Sometimes spring can throw you a curveball and give you cold temperatures which can leave trees, flowers, plants left to rot and possibly die. Regardless of the on and off temperatures during the spring, it is a great time for grilling. Instead of going by a certain date for the spring season to arise, look out for characteristics like these. For East Texas Explorer, I'm Brandon Smith.
The Recreation Center on the campus of Stephen F. Austin State University is more than just working out. Megan Sellers went behind the scenes of the Outdoor Pursuits Center at the Rec to find out what this office has to offer for the great outdoors. Here's what she found.
The Outdoor Pursuits Center at Stephen F. Austin is a large part of their recreation center on the university's campus. This week I got to take a look behind the scenes at their office and warehouse to learn more about what they do. This office offers everything from a warehouse of camping supplies to an office full of tools that students can use to help plan any outdoor trip they wish to take. The warehouse offers things like outdoor cooking supplies, kayaks, life jackets, sleeping supplies, and so much more. The Outdoor Pursuits program sets up trips that any student can sign up and pay for themselves. The most recent trip they took was over spring break to Big Bend National Park. Here's a look at some of the recent explorations taken by SFA students. The Outdoor Pursuits office is also in charge of the large rock wall that takes up 2 stories of the Student Recreation Center. To learn more about this awesome program, visit them online at www.sfasu.edu/campusrec. Reporting for East Texas Explorer, I'm Megan Sellers.
Some childhood memories will never fade away, so let's take a trip down memory lane by playing a good old-fashioned game of kickball. Here's Gabriella Wesley to tell us more about the SAA event.
For about 72 years, the Student Activities Association has been hosting various free events around campus. These events range from laser tag to lumberjack idol, and even a walk for autism. SAA will be hosting a kickball tournament.
Yeah, so student activities as we put on all the events. We try to mix it up with a bunch of variety of different types of events to try to get everyone possible involved.
The sign-up sheet for this event is located on the 3rd floor of the Student Center in the SAA office.
A sample of the student body out just to relieve some stress before finals, and we also just try to bring a little day of fun after different tests that people are going through during the week. And I mean, sometimes people are having problems at home, and sometimes they just need an escape plan. So this is where we're doing events like this, like kickball, something that you can actually, some people use their frustration out on others, but you can actually use it on the ball from kicking. So.
The Kickball King tournament will take place on Friday, April 4th at the intramural fields. Each team will be composed of 8 players who will compete for a chance to win a cash prize of $400. For East Texas Explorer, I am Gabriella Wesley.
There are some fans that go above and beyond to keep the things they love alive. For Harry Potter fans, the best way to keep the magical world alive is through a good game of Quidditch. Here's Casey Helms with the story.
Quidditch is a sport inspired by J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. Like the sport played by the hero of Rowling's books, Quidditch has 7 players on each team, 3 chasers, 2 beaters, 1 keeper, and a seeker. The goal of the game is to catch a snitch while scoring as many points through one of the other team's 3 hoops as possible. It wasn't long before college students around the world found a way to make their favorite fictional sport a reality, and it is now one of the most popular games in the world. As Quidditch's popularity continues to grow both in and out of the book series, I decided to talk to Sarah Richardson about how the sport came to the Nacogdoches area.
There's actually another group on campus called the Order of the Lumberjack, and it's a chapter of the Harry Potter Alliance. And we have had a lot of members asked us to create a Quidditch team, and this semester, or last semester actually, me and the current president, Morgan McGrath, we decided that we were going to start it up, and so we finally got it going this semester.
Anyone is welcome to watch the team practice at the intramural fields, and students are encouraged to sign up. Practice times and events are posted on the Lumberjack Quidditch Facebook page. Who knows, there might just be a battle of the piney broomsticks in the near future. Reporting from the SFA intramural fields, this is Casey Helms for East Texas Explorer.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back next time with more stories from around Nacogdoches.
And if you'd like to see this episode or other Jack TV shows, check out our YouTube channel at Jack TV SFA.
We'll see you next time on East Texas Explorer.